Hey, Tim from ModelKitReviews.com, and working on the Geara Zulu here, and I just wanted to show you really quick, turn the camera on so I could demonstrate how to use a scriber to get more detail out of your parts. Now, a scriber could be a couple of things. A lot of times when you hear people talk about scribers, they're talking about a line scriber, which is one of these guys, and you actually use this to create panel lines on kits. Just hold it down, drag, and you end up with a line cut on the surface. The other kind of scriber, which doesn't seem to come up very often in this hobby, is just a simple point scriber, like one of these guys. And usually you'll find these, people use them to like carve their names on things. Machinists use them quite a bit to be able to mark parts and things like that. But we can actually use it to add a tremendous amount of detail to existing kits without having to resort to putting on additional parts or things, detail parts that we purchase separately. And one of the areas we can do that is on this shoulder piece. This is the shoulder armor for the High Grade Geara Zulu. And you can see you've got these rivet-looking pieces that are just simply, they're molded into the plastic. And normally what one would do is you would paint this or not paint it, and actually you would just put some panel lining in there and help that part pop out. And if you wanted to, you could paint that part separately. But it still has that appearance of it's just simply molded in plastic. It's not inset very far. It just looks like plastic. Flip over to the other side, and what we've done is we've actually used a scriber to go in and carve out a channel in there so that it helps the part actually stand out. Because you look at it, and I have some ink in there right now, so it does stand out pretty well. But it helps it look like it's actually a separate part that's been placed inside of that. And it's really easy to do. You do need a nice, good, sharp-pointed scriber like this guy. And in the case of this piece, you have, so let's say this piece right here, and I've already started this one, so you can see the process. You just simply stick the point there and just start going in a circle around it. Now you can do this with, if you have like a really sharp needle point kind of thing, you can try that. Like I've got one of those here that I use for like sculpting or cleaning out panel lines. This will work too, not as well because you can hear it kind of grinding and scratching at the plastic. A scriber will allow you to actually have much smoother motion as you go around. But you can certainly try either way. I find the scriber to be much easier. And you don't even have to press that hard in this situation. You're actually just looking to just kind of have that repetitive motion. You can reverse direction if you wanted to. But what you end up with, and you can see all that plastic. I mean, I'm not even pressing that hard. You can see a lot of plastic getting dug out. And you just kind of got to play it by ear how far down you're looking to actually carve the part out. You know, it's really up to you. If you're not careful, you will go all the way through the part. So certainly don't do that. But let's brush this off really quick and take a look at what we've got. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. You can see there. So it's quite a ways in. Very, very different look than just the simple molded part. So there you are. So that's how you would scribe that out. Now another thing you can use a scriber for, since we're on the subject, is on these leg pieces. So I am painting this kit. So as I've been going, I've got these glued together because there was a big nasty seam line right straight down the front of the leg and also the back of the leg. So we've eliminated that. But one of the things I wanted to do was on these pieces on the bottom, you can see that again, this is just kind of molded in. Now that should look like a separate part that's been actually locked on top, or at least if you want to add some more detail. So that's one of the things I've done here is gone in and used the scriber to go along the edges of the part and just kind of trace an outline, and it just helps the part stand out. And then once you get some panel lines in there and darken that up. Now it does require a little bit of work. This one's, I guess, is as close to finished as matters. And again, I have some ink in there just to kind of, I was making some new wash, so I was testing out the actual viscosity of it, I suppose. So this is what would be normally considered finished once you use the scriber, actually using sandpaper going down and working the edges down. But now you have this nice piece, it's standing out, it doesn't look like it's molded out of one piece of plastic, so you can easily get a panel line in there and add some detail to it. And we also did the same thing on this back part here. You can see where we actually just use the scriber to go in there and chisel it out. And again, it's not about using like maximum pressure. Just scratch it over the surface. You don't need to press down super hard, but it does take a little bit of time. You know, be patient with it. And you can see over here, this is one I freshly did. We still got a little bit of rough plastic on the edge, so I'll go in with some sandpaper and actually smooth that out, and we'll be left with a nice clean part. So there's another use for a scriber. See, this is a very useful thing. $14 for this on Amazon. It's perfect. But one of the things that's really cool you can do with this, kind of like the rivets on the shoulders, are the thrusters on the side of the legs. Same kind of thing where, you know, when we paint this, if we want to do some detail painting, we would actually make this a metallic or whatever color we want the thrusters to be. But if you look in there, again, you can see, okay, it just looks like molded plastic, which it is, right? But we can actually add a tremendous amount of detail using very, very simple tools like this scriber. And I actually have on this one has been use the scriber to go in and carve around the thruster to make it look like it's not just sitting on top of the plastic, but it's actually been inset inside of it. And we can do a direct comparison to one that has not been. So on this guy is the regular one. This one is, we've gone with the scriber and given the look of insetting that thruster a bit. It's subtle, but when it's actually painted and you have and you've done a panel wash on it, that's going to stand out quite a bit. And you can see I've actually done it for the center of the thruster as well. We've gone from having this very shallow kind of center ring to a much deeper one. So again, you could paint that center post a different color, get a panel wash in there around it, and it'll just help it stand out a lot better. So, and same kind of dropping parts. Doing this stuff live, same kind of thing here though. Just simply, you know, get the scriber in there, go in a circular motion, don't apply a ton of pressure, and pay attention to the angle that you're actually coming at it from. So in the case of this guy, you want to make sure you're following along with the shape of the piece. So as you're carving pieces out, because if you were to go like this, you can actually start deforming the shape of the part or cutting too deep in the wrong direction. So you do want to follow the actual part itself. So there you are. I hope that helps you out. This kit's coming along. My goal is to get this done very soon. I had a lot of miniature work I had to get caught up on, and that's out of the way. So now I can return my focus to this, and hoping to have that done really quickly. So anyway, hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more in this series. Bye.